Good morning, everybody. Can everybody see and hear me okay? No? Yes? One second. Just want to make sure this is on. Anybody? Can you guys hear me? See me yet? Let's see. Ah, there we are. Okay. Now can you guys hear and see me? Yes? Sorry guys, let me troubleshoot this. There we go. Okay, we're all good? Awesome. Okay, so hi everybody and welcome to Amika's Viral Braids class. My name is Kristen and I am a pro educator here in California. I live in Los Angeles and I'm actually in Salon Republic, Pasadena. So this is super exciting to be talking to my Salon Republic family. Let me tell you a little bit about Amika before we get started on these braids. We're based in Brooklyn. We're a hair care and tools, thanks guys. We're a hair care and tools company, and we are all about inclusion and positivity. So Amika means friend, and that is our main goal, is to be everybody's friend and to be a friend to all hair types. So you can definitely tell, I mean, just by our packaging, we like to be fun. We like to stand out. We want everybody to be unique and individual. We're not about just the perfectly coiffed black and white classic can. We love the uniqueness and we want everybody to be themselves and have fun. So that's what really drew me to this brand. I feel like it's in line with myself and my philosophies as well. So not only that, but Amika is really great as far as their products and their tools go as well. We have a signature ingredient that's in all of our products. It's the sea buckthorn berry, and what I really love about sea buckthorn is that it's this amazing superfruit. It grows in the Himalayas, which is super cold, and so it has to have a lot of antioxidants and minerals and all that good stuff in order to survive. And so we put that sea buckthorn berry into all of our products. So I really feel like they're super moisturizing. I never hear anybody saying that their hair feels dry. It's all because of that sea buckthorn berry. It is amazing and it makes your hair feel so soft. We also have a signature scent which has become quite a cult following. It's a mixture of fresh citrus, warm vanilla, and spicy sweet clover. And so I really love that they all smell the same, because if you're anything like me, I'm putting like 10 products on at once and I don't really want to smell like a fruit basket. I want to smell like one thing that smells really good, and so that's really important as well. So let's get started on these braids. Today we're going to be learning the Chinese staircase and the chain link and the infinity braids, and we have a couple of really cool giveaways for you guys today, so make sure you guys stay till the end. I'm going to be asking you a couple of questions throughout this experience, and so let me show you. So we're going to give away 2 amazing travel kits, but with full-size products inside. I love the travel bag. I personally use it when I travel. Has a bunch of pockets. It's really cute, and of course it has the Amika pattern on it, which is the most important thing. I mean, let's be real. So inside the travel bag is going to be a Fluxus, which is our flexible hairspray. I really love the Fluxus. I feel like it works really well. It's definitely an essential. For me, it's brushable, but everything stays in place, and if you don't really want helmet hair, this is such a great hairspray to have in your kit. It's just a really good all-around hairspray for all hair types. Then we're gonna have the Undone texture spray, matte texture spray. This is one of my favorite products. I use it all the time on myself and my clients. That beachy look that everybody wants, especially the lobs, you know, they want that really textured look. This is the perfect spray for that. It's a finishing spray, and it doesn't make the hair really crunchy or dry, which I really love. It just adds that little bit of texture and separation that you need in those beachy waves, and so this is definitely a must-have for me. And also in the travel kit, we're gonna have the Supernova. I love Supernova. It's such a versatile product. It's definitely in my essentials kit as well. It is a moisture and shine cream, so a lot of times, especially with me, I have extensions, I want to add moisture to the ends of my hair, but I don't necessarily always want an argan oil or a serum, and so this is actually a cream, and it works really well to just add a moisture and shine, but without making it greasy or heavy or anything. It's kind of like a little miracle in a bottle. I love this stuff. And then the last thing you're gonna get in your travel bag if you win the giveaway is a tiny flash mask, which is our new 1-minute mask that you do after you wash the hair, and that stuff is amazing. Flash mask is so crazy how shiny the hair gets. I am always in awe of, I take videos of the shine, and it's just crazy, and it only takes 1 minute. You leave it on for a minute wet, and it's like totally different hair. It's amazing. So in your giveaways, you guys are gonna get that if you answer the questions correctly. So pay attention, and that way you can hit in the chat and answer those, and the first one to answer will get the giveaway prize. Okay, so now let's get to the braids. I'm gonna tilt this down just a tad. If it will let me. There we go. Okay. So I have this beautiful lilac lady here, and okay. So the first braid that we are gonna do today is going to be the Chinese staircase braid. It's a really great braid to use to cover a rubber band or to hold a ponytail. You can do it any length all the way down the hair of your client or your person. So I think that it's a fun way, a more modern way to cover than just to create, you know, a little band over your rubber band. So let me show you. And you can either do this over a banded ponytail, or you can do it just on the hair while it's down as well. So I'm going to show you that way. So you want to make sure that the hair is nice and smooth. Make sure all the flyaways are tamed. So we're going to take the ponytail in our hands, and we're actually going to start by taking a small piece from the back. So it looks like this, tiny back piece. And what you're going to do is you're going to make kind of a loop with your fingers, your index and your thumb. You're going to take it inside and bring that tail around the back to the other side. So everybody sees that? And then what you're going to do is with your index and your thumb, you're going to grab that little tail in the front, pull it through like that. And that is your first stair of your staircase. So let's do that again. And every time you're going to pick up a new piece from the back, so just a tiny one, you want to keep your sections that you're grabbing pretty consistent, because you're going to be able to see the sizing on the side. So let's do the second one. So you're going to make a loop. So I'm grabbing it behind the ponytail, put your index and your thumb through this loop, wrap the tail around, and pull it through. And you can start to see the little staircases forming on the side. It's a really nice, pretty way to kind of grab your ponytail here. So where Chinese staircase came from, it was inspired by, I don't know if you guys have ever done those lanyards when you're a kid. but it's definitely inspired by those, all of those kinds of knots and things. So that's pretty cool. I used to do those a ton when I was a kid. So we're gonna take another piece from the back, add it to our previous, make our loop, index and thumb, grab that tail, wrap it around through the back, and then pull it through the loop. And there's another stair for our staircase. So we're just gonna keep going, grabbing one piece from the back, adding it to our section, making that loop, index and forefinger inside, pulling the tail towards the back, wrapping it around the front, and pulling it through. You guys see that? It's really pretty. And like I said, you can go all the way down the ponytail. There are no rules. That's what I love about hair. Or you can keep it at whatever length you want, just to kind of give it a little chic look on a pony. So let's do a couple more of these. So again, you're going to grab a piece from the back, make that loop, bring it around the back to the front, pull it through. Perfect. Yeah, her color is great. I love using bright colors for braids. It really just makes them pop a lot more than a brown or a black. It's really helpful in making kind of a fun, modern, edgy look, especially with the color. So let's do one more of these. We're gonna do the loop, take it to the back, bring it around, and pull it through. And also, once you guys start to do this and go down, if you go pretty far, you can also twist these. You'll start to see that it will make a spiral. So you can keep them all on the side, or you can go around in a spiral. The smaller you make them, obviously you'll have more staircases, and so you'll be able to kind of manipulate them as you want to. You can also do alternating sides, and then you'll have a double staircase. So you would do one loop on this side and then one loop on the other side, and alternate like that, and then you'll have this pattern along this side as well, which is kind of fun. So once you've finished the amount that you're gonna do, the way that you would finish this off would just be with a bobby pin, kind of like as if you were to wrap it around. So you're gonna take your bobby pin, you're gonna kind of wrap it around here, and you're gonna, put it up into your staircase. That way you don't see it. Make sure the bobby pin doesn't show. And likely you're gonna have to do maybe two, like I'm gonna have to do because her hair is long. You don't wanna try to wrap everything up in just one bobby pin because it's gonna likely fall out because it's too much hair, and also it just gets bulky. It's not gonna be as clean. So make sure you really get that in there. And there you go. Chinese staircase. I know, I do too, Tasha. This is a great color. Is everybody good? You guys think you're good with this? It looks pretty cool, huh? You guys are gonna go try it on your doll heads and your clients. It's a really easy, fast way to kind of, if you want to do a fun picture of your client or anybody, you can just kind of do this really quick, and it just adds a little bit more oomph to your style instead of just doing a pony. So love that. Awesome. Okay, so let's do our first giveaway. There I am. Okay, so let's do our first giveaway. I'm gonna ask the question, and then the first one to answer in the chat is going to get the prize. So this Chinese staircase, I said, was based on what? Where did it come from? Does anybody know? I mentioned earlier I like to do as a kid. So answer in the chat and see if you are the lucky winner of our first giveaway. Awesome. Okay, so let's move on to our next look as I take her down. See, it really is strong. I'm having trouble even taking it out. So that bobby pin really does hold. Perfect. Yeah, I mean, braids are so great. They just add so much extra to any hairstyle. I mean, down is beautiful, but when you can add a little braid, why not? Okay. So now I'm going to teach you guys the Chainlink braid, and I really love this. It looks great on snatched ponies, or even on half up, half down. Instead of just doing a regular braid or a fishtail braid, it looks really cool because it's what it's known as like more of a 3D braid. So no matter which way you turn it, it's going to look like the chain link, which is kind of cool, where braids are kind of more two-dimensional. So this one, we're gonna start with her hair actually in a ponytail. So let me do that right now. So I'm just gonna use my rubber band. You can use a bungee or two small rubber band, or one small rubber band and two bobby pins. But for the sake of time today, I'm just gonna use a regular one. Perfect. All right. We definitely want to cover that up because even though this is a tutorial, ain't nobody want to see that ugly rubber band. So let's do this. Get my bobby pin. I'm gonna do the same wrapping thing we just did. Wrap it around the bobby pin and stick it up into our girl's head. Okay, ready? You guys all see that? I'm actually gonna raise her up just a bit. That way you can see the length. Okay. So this braid actually catches people off guard. It's a little bit complicated because you have to use all of your finger spaces. So what I like to do is kind of number them. So this space in between here is going to be number 1. This space in here is going to be number 2. Then you have number 3, and you're going to have number 4. Okay? So what you're going to do is you're going to split this ponytail into 4 equal pieces as best that you can. Make sure it's nice and okay. So you're going to put the first one into slot 1, which is in between your index and your thumb. The next piece goes into slot 2, which is in between your index and your middle finger. Then you're gonna go in between your middle and your ring, and then your ring finger and your pinky, okay? So it should look like this. The hair should always be coming out of the front side of your palm, always. The biggest mistake I see is once we grab the pieces, people tend to end up with it on the other side and then they get confused. So it's always gonna be on the inside of your palm. So, like I said, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So we're always gonna start with number 2. So you're gonna grab number 2 and it's gonna start, you're gonna take it over, and now this is gonna go into your new number 1 spot in your other hand. You're basically gonna be going 1, 2, 3, 4 on one side, then you're gonna go back and forth to each hand. So we're gonna start our next one. So that number 2 is gonna go in between your thumb and your index finger. Like I said, it's really important that it's in the front of your palm. People tend to end up like this, and this is how they get confused. So what I like to do is when I grab the number 2, I literally make a fist, hold it in my hand, So that way I know that it's not supposed to end up on the other side. Okay? Then you're gonna take the number 4, which is the next in line, and you're gonna just put it in the number 2 spot. So it's in your index and your middle finger. Then the last 2 that you have from your previous one, instead of going 3, 4, which I think is intuitive, you're gonna flip them. So now this one's in the number 3 spot and this one's in the number 4 spot. So I know that looks kind of crazy, so we're gonna do it again. So you have the 4 pieces in the palm of your hand. First you're gonna grab number 2. So everybody see that? 1, 2, 3, 4. Always grabbing number 2 first. Bringing it over. And now it's in your thumb and index. Then you're going to take the next one in line, which is this one. You have these 2 pieces. And then you're going to take these last 2 and flip them. So now this becomes number 3 and this becomes number 4. Are you guys getting that? I know this kind of a little tricky at first. So let's keep going. You're gonna grab number 2, bring it over in your index and thumb. You're gonna take the next one over, closest to that one, and put it in the number 2 spot. And then these last 2 that you have in your hand, you're gonna twist them. And then that goes in 3 and 4. Okay? Let's pull these out a little bit. Okay. You guys have any questions? You guys getting this a little bit so far? Okay. We'll do it again. Grab number 2, goes in between your index and your thumb, bring it over. Then you're just gonna grab the next one next to it, and that goes in number 2 spot. And then you're just going to flip the last 2, and that becomes your 3 and your 4. Yes? Awesome. Okay, we'll do a couple more just so you can really see how this chain looks. So we're gonna grab number 2. Oh, okay. Grab number 2 in my thumb and index. Sorry, wrong way. Okay. Thumb and index, the next one in line, and then flip. Number 2, next one in line, flip. 3, 4. Number 2. Next one in line, flip. So you guys see how that's making a chain? It looks really cool. So I love this. And you can always pull this out later on to make it look a little bit more modern. You can use this in an updo, which ends up looking really pretty and an easy way to get all of those kinds of, you know, little tufts without having to put a bunch of pins in. So this style is actually a lot more versatile than just wearing it in a ponytail, which is what I really like. You can do a couple of them and then really get a big updo. It looks really nice. So let's do one more since you guys can see it. So we're gonna grab number 2, pull it over, the next one in line, and then twist. 3, 4. And then you guys will just secure it with a bungee and then wrap it around. And there you go, chain link. You guys think you can do that? Anybody have any questions? It looks really cool. I love this one a lot. I actually used it on one of my colleagues when we had our holiday party. I did her hair really, really high, and she had a big thing of obviously fake hair, but it went down to her butt, and it was just a beautiful chain link. It looks so great. Okay, moving on to our last braid, which is the infinity braid. I love the infinity braid. I see it used a lot. I think it's really cool. But I do get the most feedback on it of it's a little hard to get at first, and it was the case for me as well. I used to call it my nemesis braid because I'm used to getting braids pretty easily, and this one actually took me quite a minute. But the reasoning behind that was everybody kind of braids a little differently. If you guys do cornrows or any kind of braiding, we all hold it the way we're gonna hold it that's most comfortable for our hands. With this braid, I did that the way that I thought was comfortable for my hands, and it never worked. I literally had to hold my hands and do the braid exactly the way that I was taught, and that was the only way I could get it. So it's really important that you guys don't deviate from the hand placements, because that's what's really important in keeping the tension in this braid and making it look like it's supposed to. So put this down a little bit more. So this braid we're actually gonna do on the top of her head in a horseshoe pattern. But you can do it anywhere. I've seen it done down both sides with space buns, looks really cute. I've seen it down the side with like tousled hair, looks really cute. I've seen it down, one big one down the back, and it kind of makes it look like a French twist, but with like a modern edge, and it's really great. So let me show you the infinity braid. This one is the one that I think looks really cool. So what you're gonna do is, actually, I'm gonna use a little bit of our Hot Mess. You guys see that? Hot Mess is a texture gloss. I love this for braids. It's my favorite to use for braids, because a lot of times we want to have a little bit of hold, but gel is it gets too hard. It's a little too slippery and slimy and sticky. And so with the Hot Mess, it's not very sticky at all, but it has hold, which is a really great combination. So you guys can see it's just a clear gloss, but it's really, I use it for braids a lot because it's going to keep all those flyaways in the braid. Your braid's not going to fall out. It's a really great way to kind of hold it in there without having to use a really heavy gel that's just going to look wet and get hard and be sticky as you're going down, kind of hard to work with. So I'm going to use this Hot Mess. I'm going to take a horseshoe section on the top. Okay. Take a horseshoe section. And like I said, you can really do this anywhere on the head. Once you get the process down, it's just kind of easier to see it on the forefront, down the middle. Essentially, it is a on scalp braid, so you will treat it very similarly to how you would treat like a Dutch braid or a French braid, which pops out. And you're gonna continue adding hair as you go down the braid. Okay. So, infinity braid is going to have 2 stationary pieces and 1 traveling piece at all times. Okay, and essentially, the figure eight braid, also known as infinity braid, the figure eight braid essentially is just going to make a figure 8, which is why they call it that. So just imagine as you're looping that traveling piece in and out of your 2 stationary pieces, it's going to just keep making a figure 8, figure 8, figure 8, figure 8. So that kind of helps to keep you on track so you don't get lost while you're going down. So you're going to take a small section in the front, however big you guys decide, and you're going to split it in half. I usually like to split it diagonally back, just so you don't create like a super huge part down the middle. So I usually like to go a little up and sideways. So these are going to be your stationary pieces, okay? So these are never gonna move. They're just you're gonna go down the head with them like this, okay? So then you're gonna take your moving piece, which is gonna come over here from the side back, okay? So this is gonna be your traveling piece. This is what you're gonna be adding hair to as we go down. These ones never get hair added, never move. They just are basically what's gonna anchor the figure 8 down to the head, okay? So you wanna take your traveling piece, and the first thing you're gonna do is bring it under that first stationary piece, okay? So you're gonna start with under. So you're gonna bring it under, and then you're gonna go over that second piece. So essentially it's gonna be over, under, over, under, over, under, over and over again, okay? And what's really important is that you grab this piece with your index and your thumb, because that's when you're gonna need to add hair to that piece. And it's easiest if you can just put it up into that traveling guide. So as we get down, you'll be able to see it a little easier. So now this is back under, and then you're gonna go over that second traveling piece and grab it with your index and your thumb again. So traveling piece. I have these two pieces, the stationary guides, up in my other hand, and then we're gonna grab another piece of hair, add it to the index and thumb. Okay, so now I'm grabbing that stationary guide, and this is really important that you keep your fist down on the head, because this is what's going to create tension to keep the figure 8 looking nice and taut. So next one is over, right? Grab that index and thumb and add a little piece to it, okay? Grab that stationary guide. So now you're going back under, and then it's gonna go over, and you're gonna grab that piece. Here's your stationary guide again. You guys see that? So here's your traveling piece, and I'm holding the stationary guide. So you're gonna add another piece of hair. Okay, grab that stationary one, and then you're gonna go back over. Grab it with your index and your thumb. Stationary guide. I always kind of put it in here. I flip it, and it ends up in between my index and my middle finger, which kind of holds it in place so that I can add the next piece of hair to that traveling guide. Grab the stationary. Now this traveling guide's under it, and you're gonna go over the next one, flip it, and then I grab it with my index and my thumb. Right? Grab the next piece, put it in, bring it under. See, and this is where it's important to really like tighten it down, because now you can see that figure 8 pattern really well. So always pulling down on those stationary guides to make sure that everything is really tight. So it's under. Now we're gonna go over and grab it. Add a little bit more hair. Get that stationary guide back, and this is in between is where you're gonna be tightening. So tightening it again. Then it's gonna go over, grab, add a piece of hair, under that stationary guide, over this one, grab. Sorry, her hair is a little crazy. Okay, you guys getting this? And that's why it's really important, because if you don't do it this way, you'll start to see that your loops are starting to separate. They're really far apart. You're not getting that really tight tension that you're looking for. So it's really important, especially the going under and grabbing with your index and your thumb. That was the part that I was having the most trouble with when I first learned, because I didn't want to grab it that way. It wasn't like initially what my hands felt like they were supposed to do. I wanted to kind of flip it around, but when you flip it and you grab that piece, this is what keeps everything really tight. So add some more hair, grab that stationary guide, tighten it down, and now over and grab. Add some more hair. And so this is where you can see it's kind of like a Dutch braid. You're just grabbing. So you want to make sure that you're kind of going in a straight line. You're not going to really be able to have the hand movements to like pick up a comb and part it perfectly. So just be mindful of that and picking up even pieces. So grabbing that stationary piece, bringing it under, flip, grabbing that piece. Keeping everything straight. Taking a piece from the side, adding it to my thumb and index, getting that stationary guide. Sorry guys, her hair is insane. Okay, and then pulling it tight. Okay. Over, grab. You guys see that? So it ends up looking really cool. And then you can do like a space bun. This is when it gets really creative. If you put it along the side, you know, then they kind of have like that little deep part, but they have a little braid on the side. Makes it a little bit more interesting than the regular braids. Are you guys getting that? Does it look okay to you guys? Do a couple of more. Okay, so where do we leave off? Sorry. Okay, so we did over. There we go. Okay. So we're gonna go over, grab that traveling piece, pick up some hair, add it in, stationary guide, pull it tight, over, grab, add hair, stationary piece, pull, keep that tension, and then it's gonna go back over the second one. Okay, so there you have the figure 8 braid. You guys can see that. There you go. Looks pretty cool. I like it a lot. My colleagues use it all the time, and I'm always in awe of all the different ways they can use it. Like I said, if you do a really big one on the back all the way down, it ends up looking like a really fat French twist, and it looks really, really cool. So do you guys have any questions about this one? I know this one looks a little tricky. I'm here to answer your questions if you guys have any. You think you can handle that? And then if you get really crazy, you can do 3 stationary guides, and then you end up having 3 on top. But that's when you are pro level. So go home and practice these braids. I think you're gonna find that they're gonna really up your photo game, client game. People really love braids. I was just visiting an old colleague of mine, and she was saying how she missed me braiding her hair. So, you know, just adding that little bit to your service or to your photos really catches people's eyes. And sometimes it doesn't even take that long. I mean, that staircase braid takes me like 2 minutes, and it just makes the ponytail look that much cooler. So, all right, so do you pull? Oh yeah, absolutely, you can totally pull it out. any of the braids really, the Chainlink too. I mean, you can pull it out to make it look more modern. I mean, obviously just be really careful, because if your client has layers, you don't want to pull out and create little flyaways. So just be mindful of that. But you could totally pull out the figure 8 braid. It looks really great. It makes it really puffy. It's a great way to take up space. That looks really cool. So yeah, absolutely. That's it, you guys? No questions? And obviously all the accessories, add all the accessories to your looks, because I love accessories. Okay, so I'm gonna do the last giveaway then. So go ahead and go into the chat and see if you can answer this. What did, way down the head, how do you recommend finishing braid? So, I mean, you can do it any way. I would, even if you just did a ponytail to finish, like a little rubber band, and then wrapped it. I mean, if you pulled it out, it essentially looks like if you're doing like a little pompadour. I've seen 2 braids that stop here, and then they did like little space buns to kind of cover the rubber band. There's really no rules. I mean, as long as you're making sure that you're rubber banding the ends, you can even tuck in the rest of the braid, so it just kind of looks like this really cool little thing sitting on the head or on the sides. It actually looks cool just leaving it like that. I know that sounds weird, but I've seen so many where they just kind of do one on the side, they stop here, and then, you know, it just looks cool. It just hangs. So you can finish it any way that you would like. Okay, so the giveaway. So in the very beginning, if you guys were here, I said that the word Amika means something. Can you guys tell me what Amika means? Okay, so there you guys have it, the 3 looks of the day. Like I said, we have a lot of really great products that help with braiding and different things. So the hot mess, like I said, is definitely my favorite for doing any kind of braid. It adds a little bit of hold without being sticky and stuff. And then especially, I feel like our glass action as well is a little bit more like a serum, and I use that a lot for the ends if they tend to tangle a lot. It's a great way to kind of soften them up. That and the Supernova as well, the moisture and shine cream. Yes, it's amazing. The moisture and shine cream as well. So if you have, even if you're doing somebody who has you know, really tangly hair, really wiry hair, you kind of just want to get a little control, the Glass Action Elixir and the Supernova are really good for controlling the ends, and then using the hot mess on the parts that you're going to braid closer to the root is definitely my go-to. And then of course you guys can spray them down with the Fluxus Flexible or the Headstrong. If you guys are doing a really nice braid and you don't want it to go anywhere, I would recommend our Headstrong. It's a freeze hold, and it is the truth. Your hair will not go anywhere. But the great thing about the Headstrong is also that it's brushable. So when you are done and you want to go home and take down your style, you can actually brush it, and it's not going to hurt, and it's not going to pull out the hair when you brush that hard hairspray out. So, okay, how are you guys doing? Did you guys like those braids? Everything okay over there? Any more questions, you guys? No? All right, well, it's been a great pleasure to teach you guys these braids. If you want to find me on social, I am at Kristen Hair Artist. I can type it in the chat once I'm done. Any questions you guys have about Amika products, the braids, anything that we did today, or generally any other questions as well, I'm very friendly. Yeah, just message me and I'm happy to answer any other things you guys have. So thanks for hopping on with me today. I look forward to seeing you guys again soon. Bye guys.